Welcome everyone. We'll start over. I think we have sound now. So glad that you're here. Welcome Francine. Welcome Laura. Thank you so much for your help. Yeah, I'm excited to have you guys all here today, and we can take this piece with all the hard work of getting everything blocked in, all the colors chosen, and working on our values. And now we're going to tie it all together at this next level. So I'm really excited. And Laura, welcome. We got Laura Mayer and Laura Senchuk. I don't know how to pronounce that. I'm going to have to ask for like the sound out of that, Laura. Laura S. Loretta, welcome. The sound is alive. Faith, hi. Welcome to all the way from New Zealand. I'm so glad. I think it's your first time in chat, so welcome. Chrisella, you made it on time today. That is awesome. Well, I'll let a few of you guys roll in here, and I'll talk a little bit about the basics, and just for the people that are new, just kind of do an overview of what we've worked on so far. Oh, Senchuk, thank you. That's, you know, your name's a lot, reminds me of my own, Vander Stoep. I get a lot of people that don't want to, they want to say Vander Stoep, or they're cautious about like saying it. So I totally appreciate that, Laura. Stacy, so glad you made it today. I know it's been a busy life for you too, with everything going on. Glad, yep, you're my neighbor, Washington State. I am so glad that you're here. And so I'm just going to give a quick overview why people are rolling in, and talk about what we've done and what we're doing. So we have a new person, Luis. Welcome, Luis. So glad that you're here. It's morning for you. Where are you from? Excited about that. Okay, so I am creating on a 9x12. Sometimes the sizes look a little distorted when they're on live here. You just can't tell what size it is. So this is a 9x12, great size to actually work through, move through quicker. If I do anything bigger, it takes me a lot longer. And I'm working on a UArt 600 dark sanded pastel paper. This paper is what makes my style able to do what I do. So if you're working on a different paper, you're probably going to get a little bit of a different result. I had to kind of hunt down this paper for myself. It's kind of been a big part of my creative journey, and I love this paper a lot because it allows me to do a lot of layering. It works really well with the pencils. I get a lot of details. I can do light, dark, all kinds of layering on that. So I also have it mounted onto a mat board, so it's easy to handle. I have that video in the description below. So if you are interested in mounting your paper, I always mount my paper before I create on it, and it can be a little bit of a challenge afterwards. And yeah, so I'm also working with PanPastel, and the PanPastel is set up in families. I definitely have some lessons on my website that talks a little bit more about this in depth in my classes. But I usually will pull out what part of the families I use the most, and I have a list in the description below of all of the PanPastel colors that I have up here today. So PanPastel is an ultrafine pastel, cake-like medium. It is applied with tools called soft tools, and it's a lot like painting after you get used to the tools. So that's the difference between sticks. Sticks are the brush. They're a lot harder. They have more binder in them. And so the PanPastel is a lot softer, and definitely has a different relationship to the paper. So let me catch up on chat here. Hey, Luis. Hi, everyone. Laura, it's Ukrainian. The real pronunciation is Senchuk, but my husband prefers the English version. I like the other way. It sounds more fun. That's awesome, Laura. Thanks for the background on that. Mine's Dutch. I had someone ask me, someone asked me if I had a Dutch background. I married into a Dutch and Norwegian family, and my husband was Dutch, and his father was Dutch. So it's basically half and half, and that has been an adventure and a lot of fun. Deanna, so glad that you're here. Can't wait to see how the Guardian morphs today. Michelle, welcome. Michelle Crawford. And let's see. Hi, Dawn. I just added my art name to my YouTube account. Still me down here in New Zealand. That's great, Louise. All right, you guys. We got quite a few of you in here already. And I want to talk a little bit about where we got ourselves here on this. Now, I don't know how many of you maybe have the line art. I offered the line art for free. If you are a member of my PanPastel library on my website. This is a great library. I have some extra free lessons in there. I have a wonderful color mixing freebie in there. And I have where I'm going to put some of the line art for these YouTube demos if people want to follow along. So the line art is there. I'll put the link right now real quick in there and I'll pin it to the top. And once you sign up for my free membership, then you have an account. And then you go into that account and it refreshes and it updates. And so you always have to go into your account, sign into your account to view it, just like a class. So it's free, doesn't require any credit card, anything like that. You can just sign up and then you'll also, if you confirm, you can be a subscriber to my newsletter and get notified when I go live and when I release a new class, things like that, coupons, discounts, stuff like that. So welcome, welcome. Let's see, Sharon. Hi, Sharon, welcome. So glad you're here. Gosh, we got a good group here today. That's awesome. Cameron, my husband, it's the first day. He's gone to a conference and he's not here. So we're all like, oh, but he's usually working downstairs and logs on and makes sure everything's working okay. But I'm sure you guys will tell me if something's off, like already the sound, right? So, so I want to show you guys a few things. I talk a lot about value because I really believe value is a superpower. And I really think it's understated in a lot of classes and lessons because a lot of our creatives don't really understand why they're doing what they're doing. And I think once you really, you know, I'm drilling it in that it's value. A lot of it is about that. If your work looks flat, it's because you probably don't have a good mix of value. You're probably hanging out in the midtones here and you don't have a good range. And so what I want to show you today is, of course, I have our reveal later of showing you where we came from. It's a little brighter, but the printers do that. And so I converted this to black and white. It's a little brighter than it is, but it actually isn't too far off. But now, if we're thinking in value, this is a great way to like use your phone, your iPad, your computer, whatever, and take a picture on your phone or even set it into the mode with a black and white filter in live mode and just check it out. You can even take your pans and you can put your pans up to it and see what value they are. You can take your phone over your pencils, anything, and check where your values are at. So you can really see here that the values of where we are, sometimes some colors can be quite surprising of how high of a value they can be. They might not look like they're in a 1 and 2 range, but they are. So like right here where the wing is, you can see how that's a lot brighter of a value. I'm probably going to tone that down and get a gradation going darker. When I have light going on, and I'll catch up on chat real quick here in just a second, but when I have any light that I want to put in, once I did on the first part that we did on Tuesday, I mainly blocked in with a lot of midtones. And then I started bringing up some things. And that really helps you kind of like figure out where you want your light. And it's really hard not to put lighter stuff down where the shadow should be. It's a lot of like self-discipline, at least for me. Your journey could be totally different. But what I really want people to come away with is, I know your work's not going to look exactly like mine. I wouldn't expect it to. But what it is to start seeing your work a little differently, seeing it in values, realizing that that is what's most important. You can almost put any color you want. It's just how is that, you know, coming across. So that's our value. If it was like on a screen, I just wanted to print that out to kind of get you guys thinking. And then I'm going to catch up on chat. It looks like you guys have been busy. Is Temple in the house? Temple's in the house. Hey, welcome. Woo woo. Lori's here. So glad that you're here. Oh, I love that everyone. Oh, Cameron even said hi. Hey, he's at his convention. So that's really nice of you, sweetheart. Thank you for coming in and saying hi. Aw, I love that so much. Stacy, yeah, he did come after all. Andrea, welcome. Welcome. Hi, everyone. Showing the black and white photo is super helpful in determining value. Thank you so much. You are so welcome. Yes, I'm so glad that Cameron dropped in. He has been so sweet on this live journey, you guys. It's really, really been wonderful having his support. And it's really, really sweet. I really appreciate it, Cameron. Let's see here. So forgive me if I don't reply. If I'm still here, I can be a ghost. Oh, that's okay, Temple. I understand. Yes, he's very supportive. I would not be here if it wasn't for him. Seriously, I wouldn't be doing live 100% for sure. This guy has talked me down off the ledge like so many times. So, well, I know we're getting excited. We want to get in here. We have a lot to do. So I got our before and after photo. I'm really excited about that. I don't have a lot of changes today. I have one thing that I want to add before we get to diving in. I'm going to have to erase a little bit. I'm going to see about getting I think I have it right here. And the erasing isn't going to be too much. I've put my dowel in a very handy place right here. And whoops. And what I'm going to do is, sometimes I never know how much I want to do for the rainbow. The rainbow, when I was drawing it out, was kind of an afterthought. And then I was like, oh, I really love it. And what I want to do is tie in one more color, and I want to put a violet in here. So I'm going to just take a little bit of this out because I'll be fighting against it because it's so black. And this is a Mono Zero pen eraser. I love this thing. It's just amazing. I can use it for mark making when I'm doing my black work. I can get into some detail spots if I need to. So I'm just taking down some of that black. I'm actually just making a whole nother little line, which I think you can see that. So it's showing up. And that's just bringing it back down to the paper. And then I can go and add in that color, and it's going to stay at the value that I want it to instead of going too dark. So that's kind of cool to even have that as the dark part on there. I like that. Okay, so I'm going to go in. I'm going to move my stick so I know where I'm going here. And I'm going to bring this color in. And I'm going to go with the violet, but I think I'm just going to bring in the actual violet. I know, like I showed you in the last video, that magenta and this turquoise makes a really beautiful violet. And I can probably put some of that over it. But I have to kind of get detailed in here, so I want to just get it in there. And you can see that's going to really tie everything together. And sometimes you don't see that right away unless you take a step back from a piece and let it breathe. I highly suggest that. I've been saying that more and more even in my classes. Like, classes can sometimes be unrealistic of like how long that artist has taken to create the piece. So I've been a little bit more verbal, like, hey, I've taken 3 breaks and I'm on day 3. You know, it's kind of like, let's get real of how long these pieces take. I mean, the 9x12s, I've been able to move through them a little bit faster, but that's just, you know, I have 6 years of painting pastel. So definitely give yourself a break if things are taking you a bit longer. It's all about making the gap a little bit smaller of learning. So you're trying to close that gap from what you know to where you want to go. So, all right, let's see here. He is a keeper. Thank you, guys. Lots of love for Cameron. I have like 6 of them. Let's see what you were saying, Stacy. Howdy, Francine, Temple. I might have missed what you were saying. I have like 6 of them all over the house and in my art bags. Oh, the mono. The Vanish. Yes, those are great. The Mono Zero erasers. Stacy, you just put the backup set of the monos in my cart yesterday. Yeah, I had to finally buy a few of them. I have like 4 of them because I'd leave them all over, put them in an art bag or something like that. It was driving me crazy. So we got that little rainbow in there, and that is a darker value too. So we want to go from the dark to the light. And you know, the rainbow has a lot of black on these edges here. And my style for me, I like to take that black and have it peek through, but then I like to bury it along the way when I'm creating. So that is what I focus on, is like it looks very stained glass. And then once I start adding pencils for our pencil throwdown and stuff like that, we'll start bringing these chopped up sections together. Now, this is definitely a style that's taking me a long time to kind of, you know, figure out for myself. And the thing I think is really helpful is really logging or taking a journal or writing down what you're liking. Like say if you went through my exact process or went through one of my classes or lessons or whatever, really log in what you're enjoying about them. Are you liking the mark making? Are you liking the bright colors? And you know, lean more into whatever you're liking, and that just takes time. And then you kind of start seeing repetitive things pop up in your work. And I think that is just a lot of like trying to be more self-awareness of your journey, you know. I'm going to put a little bit of this red iron oxide in here. And so I'm going to have to figure something out, guys. It's hot. It's going to be 80 degrees today. It didn't seem very hot in my studio, and then all of a sudden, it is really warm. I'm going to have to get some type of... Our AC, I should have turned it on downstairs, but it just seems so quick for the weather to change. Okay, and then I might put in some of the... Magenta extra dark in these feathers here, just to kind of not have them be one note of color, because I rarely have one color down that by itself. I usually like to rainbow that out. So you can see already that the wings, when I was working on them with that grayscale, that value really came out at me when I was checking. And so I wanted to make that adjustment so it would radiate down. I'd rather have that yellow brightness be up here in the focal point area. And when I'm talking about focal point, you know, I usually divide up my painting up into thirds. And then you get 4 cross points of focal points. So like this eye's area is a focal point. I'm really focusing up here as a focal point. Down here is a focal point. You can pull out different areas. So let's see. Oh, it's 43 and raining right now. Yeah, this is Portland, Oregon, you guys. It is warm today. It's crazy. Yeah. I should have turned my AC on and I didn't. So I'll be more prepared next time. I'll make it through. It's just for a little while. So now, since I got that rainbow added in there, I'm thinking about what I want to do next. And I think what I want to do is work on the eyes a little bit. I got all my pencils pretty much sharpened except the first one that I want to use. So this is my shadow pencil. I love it. It's a 175 and it's a Pitt pencil. I really love it. Well, welcome, Cassie. So glad that you're here. Welcome. And I'm going to use this just to knock down some of my, oops, just knock down my mic there. I'm going to, right here where that eye touches with that white, like once I put white in, I'm going to hit those edges and that's going to make it look like it pushed back into the shadow. You see how that did that? And then we're also going to put little whiskers on here. Now, we're not going to change his expression. He's pretty serious. Francine left a wonderful comment, and I love your comments, Francine. Like, seriously, they stick with me. All of you guys, when you give me comments on my videos, it means so much to me, especially when people watch the replays, because they're not in the lives too. So It really means a lot to me to even just have you say hi or anything. But Francine left a wonderful comment. She's like, he's really serious about his job. We can't change his expression too much. And I totally agree, because he's the guardian of creativity, you know. He's gonna like say, no, this is gonna be a positive experience. Let's have some fun here. And not let the negativity and that chatter that can get in our head get in our way, right? And I think we all need to have a guardian of creativity in our studio. Oh my gosh, Stacy, thank you so much for the super chat. Oh, what a cute little character there, the little fox with the heart. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. That's so kind. You guys are so generous. Thank you so much. That made my day. That was quick. I got one right off the bat. I love that so much. Yeah, that's awesome. Oh my God, he's so cute. I love your value paper on the side. Thank you, Cassie. I actually have this exact value paper on in my PanPastel library in the membership area. I just uploaded another lesson with my black PanPastel that's called Awakening. It was a lesson from a couple years ago, and I re-released it for free in my membership library. So this value scale will be in there, so you could have that for yourself. So definitely go check that out. The link, I'm gonna pin that link. I almost forgot. I got a big smile on my face. Thank you, Stacy. You're so awesome. Okay, I'm gonna pin this real quick. Hopefully it'll let me. Sorry for the wait here, guys. Maybe it'll let me do it on here. Yeah. Come on. All right, well, I'll have to, I don't know why sometimes things do things the way they do, but it's fine. So it's in there. The free link is in chat, and I will make sure I can get it pinned, or it's even below in the description area. So, isn't that adorable, Lori? That's so cute. He's got a wiggly butt, the teeny pup. It's so cute. He does have a wiggly butt. That's adorable. Thank you so much. Okay, so I'm gonna go and also use a lighter pencil, maybe not the white, but I'm gonna go with this, you know what? I'm gonna use the ivory. I have this ivory, it's CarbOthello, it's a 105. And I'm just going to go and play with this, you know, bring out some of the white around the eye a little bit. I did put these little stripes in there, but I'm going to accent this, and it's going to make it look a little bit more a part of his face instead of just stripes. So the cool thing is when you put patterns down, you know, you can blend them in, and the reason why I don't leave them just sitting on the top is I want them to look part of the piece. So that's my main goal here. And now we're going to put some little whiskers. You know, owls have that little tuft around their nose. Now I'm using this applicator brush, and I'm going to use the edge of it, trying to get the edge with the white raw umber, and I'm just going to start. It's amazing the detail you can get. You have to wipe off your brush so it doesn't pick up the black, but it can be a little patient. You got to have some patience there, because if I do too much at once, it'll start smearing the other color. I think these little tufts really make the piece. Let's see here. And then I can use a pencil to bring out the highlights of it. I'm just trying to get, so PanPastel sets down in this paper differently than the pastel pencils. So a lot of this I got to get done before I want to put pencils down a lot, because the pencils sit on top of the paper just a little bit more. So I really like that. I'm not going too crazy with it. And then with the white pencil, I'm going to bring out some of the highlights in those, that kind of feather.
And whenever you use your pencil, if you get some black on it, you got to wipe it off on a towel. So I'm trying to get a little bit more of these tufts in there. So when you see me go out of frame, that's where I'm going. I'm wiping it off. I kind of like, I might tone that down a little bit. The cool thing with pastel is you can always, you know, go back and forth. It's not permanent. Okay, and then since I'm in here, I'm going to use a little bit of this peach. I really love these pit pencils too. I mean, if you already have the CarbOthellos, I really suggest the 48 set of CarbOthellos to start out with. It's an amazing core set, super pigmented, beautiful range of hardness. And this is the pit pencil, around the same hardness, and it's a little bit more earthier colors. So I really like that. So I'm going to work on a little beak here. And this one was the 189. You can just use something similar too. This is the step up from it. It's a 132. And then I'll probably take my a little bit of a, let's see if this gray might be a little too dark. So I'm doing a little dance. I might use this little, the 675. This is a CarbOthello. I'm going to have to put that line back in. I got my shadow pencil. So like if you're wanting to add any shadows in between the feathers, like to break them up a bit, you can always take this pencil and it'll help you. I want this to be a little bit more softer. Thanks for the hearts. Flew into Portland a few years ago to visit an old friend from high school in Hood River. Oh, it was a great trip. Oh, that's wonderful, Chrisella. Oh, thank you, Stacy. I'm glad you like the feathers. So these little moments, you know, I have to go back and forth a little bit, and that's kind of the little dance. And then I can use this peach. This is like a tint. So you start thinking of your pencils as the same structure of the PanPastel. So like, for instance, if I had the raw, the burnt sienna, this is the core. And if I want it to go into shade or extra dark, I add black. If I want to make it into a tint, I add white. So this is basically a similar vibe here. You just start seeing everything in that kind of manner. All right, I'm liking that. Still a little thick down by the edge there, but I'll balance that out here. And I'll probably work through a little bit of that. So I got this paper out because I used to be huge into swatching, you guys. I tried to swatch all my sticks, all my PanPastel, all my pencils. It was just too much. It's just too much. So what I decided is I'm just going to use these things and I'm going to get to know them. And sticks are horrible at swatching. So like I start realizing this is the 188. It's a little bit more like a burnt sienna, and you can sometimes they're really deceiving of what color they are on the pencils the most. So those I would say if you're going to swatch those. I'm going to go down a little bit farther here. All right, so the reason why I'm taking a lot of time right here is this is my focal point, and I think that little beak part is important, so I want to spend some extra time there. You can see that I've now brought the face into where it's jiving a little bit more with the whites. So now I'm gonna, what I do is here's a thought too. So when I'm working with the pan pastels, it's kind of like an underpainting for me. You could do a whole painting in pan pastel, don't get me wrong. I mean, I've done that plenty of times, but I really like the pencils. So I kind of use it as an underpainting. Same, you can do the same with sticks. We can do this underpainting. And then I like to take the pastel and bring out areas and things like, bring them out more. So I'll kind of go, okay, well, all those colors underneath are going to guide me. And I got that white in here. And now I'm going to bring out that pattern more by going in between the white. And I can even go over it back with the white again. And that's how I kind of rainbow things out a bit. And I'm not just going over hard. If I don't like that spot, I can tone that back down. And so I'm just focusing on the face here to see what I want to do. And I'm not, because these lives, it's hard to sometimes come back to a certain spot because we're moving through things a little bit faster. So I'll do a lot of it right now. I really love this pencil. This is a 582. It's a Carandache. It's super soft. It doesn't work in my normal pencil sharpeners. You can see how the tip is not as sharp. I love it. I think it's bright and it's really fun. And I really like incorporating it into my work. It's just a happy color, right? Like, so I'm going to start bringing things up now because a lot of them were in their midtones. So I can bring these little feather tufts up, and I'll have to go back and forth with the pencils because the pencil does sit on there a little bit. So, and then I'll think, well, where else do I want to put this? And I really want this heart. I'm going to bring this heart up a lot more today. And I will probably get it where it actually blends in a little bit. So I'm going to just put in a little bit of that color there to get me started. And then I'm just going to start throwing down the color, guys, with the pencil. So this is a 311 CarbOthello. It's a little bit more on the peachy side. And now, if you want to go more loose, you have to make the moves. And a lot of it's just me scribbling. So I just let myself go. And like, say that's too much. I didn't like it. I felt like it was too much. Pencils really knock down quick. So you can just go like that and go, well, that was a little too much. If I want to tone it down along the way, I can totally do that. So this is a little brighter. I'm kind of digging this whole cheek thing. I'm going to hit it on this little cheeks down here. And you want to kind of build harmony with the pencils. So you got to start sprinkling them around a little bit. So I'll probably start thinking, you know, where else would I want that? This rainbow up here, I'm going to want to rainbow this out. It's flat, but you're going to see how it's going to change. And so you can see how already I just took and really tied in this beautiful color. It's the 311. I have that listed out. I'm just going to grab it because some of the colors are really beautiful to be able to say what they are. I'm going to have this list in my next class all listed out because I really got inspired and I have it in order. So this is a Carmine Middle Red. And it's just been brought up with more white, so it's more pink because the red down here, if I bring this up, I'd get more of a pink too. So I'll probably be popping this around the piece, but I'm just going to start out right here. I really like it mixed in here. I'll get caught up here on chat. I'm really happy that you guys are here, everyone. Thank you so much for coming.
Don't be shy if you want to say hi. I just love chatting. My whole purpose of doing the lives is to really connect with the community in this fun new way. So definitely don't be shy. All right. Okay, we have travel questions. All right, Deanna. Temple, my floof kitty is a ragdoll, queen of floof. Value chart downloaded. Right on, Cassie. The Floof Masters. I love that. I love that. Thank you so much. Okay, Deanna, welcome. So glad that you're here. If someone wanted to take the PanPastels traveling on a trip in the car, going out of hotels. Okay, let's see what you guys did, because it looks like you might have answered her question already. Cassie, which lesson was the value chart in again? I'll just tell you, Cassie, Stacy, the lesson is in the Awakening. It's also in the Mushroom. I went and updated like 3 lessons with the same chart. It's also in the paid lessons. I updated the value chart in almost everywhere. So it's in the free PanPastel membership area. Deanna, I just went to a course with mine and had bought the plastic trays. Yep, that's what I would use. The plastic trays, that's how I would travel with mine. I just traveled and brought them with me when I went to Mount Vernon, and brought them in their plastics, and they just travel really well in there. So that worked out really well. I think I'm gonna wait and put violet on that one. Yes, be sure you have the lids. I even put a Velcro strap around mine just for extra protection. Okay, let's see. Okay, floof. Oh, maintenance for the floofy cats. You always amaze me, Dawn, on how quickly it changes from where you last time left off. Yeah, thank you, Louise. It is amazing some of these subtle differences, what they can do. So, all right, you guys are chatting. I'm loving that. It's a great community. So this whole thing guides me to where I want to go next. So I've already built up the underpainting. So now I can go, okay, I want to add some colors in, and I'm going to start burying some of that black line a little bit. And if it doesn't bury enough, then I'll even go erase it. So I'm going to bring up this orange a little bit more. And I'll probably bring it up. I got this other, thought I grabbed the lighter orange in my thing, but I might have to go. I'm going to use the peach. So it's going to look like a tint because it's going to mix with it. And if I bring it up and it's not saturated enough, then I go and bring that color back in again. So this is the 221, and it's a just the standard orange in the CarbOthello. And then I'll go around and I'm going to start bringing up these little flowers. Because see, with the pencils, I don't have to use as much when I already did that underpainting. So I'm just going to play around. I think even with these, I might try to put some little patterns in. I always like to integrate some patterns. It's from my mixed media background, and I think it's a lot of fun. So it's amazing. If your pencil isn't sharp enough for some of these, I just make sure they're a little bit sharper. I just put a new blade in my, I use the, I have this listed below, but I love this M&R brass sharpener. And it doesn't need to be perfect. We're shedding perfectionism here, people. We are not trying to be perfect. So I go out of my way to loosen up and not be perfect. And that is why I've built so much structure in the beginning. I've embraced the fact that I like to transfer a lot of my drawings. If I don't transfer them, I usually get that, base really strong for myself of knowing what I want to do. And then I spend the rest of the time breaking it down, and it's a lot of fun. So I like this on the flowers.
I have a few of these. I like to do things in threes. I have this one up there, but I already went pretty bright orange on it. So a lot of that mid-tone and dark, because we were down here building up our mid-tone, allows you to take the pencil, and now I'll use a pencil that's like a couple steps brighter to over that, and then that allows it to show through. I really like that, so I might go and tone down this one so I can do it up here too. So if I want to tone something down, we think about PanPastel and how it's structured. And when PanPastel, you want to add things to be a shade or a shadow, I mean a shadow or an extra dark, you want to add black to it. So I'm just going to add a little bit of black, way too much. It goes really quickly, so I'm going to go back and forth here with it a little bit. So I'm going to knock that down. And then I'm going to go in with my shadow pencil. It's really close to my focal point, so I want this to be a little bit, I'm doing it really light, but I want it to be a little bit more defined. All right, and now I can go in and add that look. But I had to bring it down to the value of below it, or it wouldn't show up. So, see, and now we got kind of this repetitive look going through. And if you're ever in question, you know, doing things in sets of odds are really powerful. I have a little set of 5 of them here. I think these are odd, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then I have 1, 2, 3. So I find that doing things in odd sets can be really powerful, and then repeating something throughout can really help your design be a little bit more pleasing to the eye. Welcome, it's Danielle. It's Gel, but I think it's Danielle. Welcome, so glad that you're here today. Awesome. Let's see. Floof, you guys are funny. You're gonna go on strike and your house will be forever floofed. And that's why you've accepted your floofy art. Oh, Temple, it's so nice that you're here. Francine's got a question. Earlier you said the pencils sit on top. Do you usually end up blending them in with your soft tool? No, Francine, I don't. I'm working with the PanPastel below, so I'm okay to build up. I get that PanPastel built up to a certain level. So when I put the pastel pencils on, they're gonna sit on top, and the PanPastel interacts with the paper in a different way. It settles into that sanded paper, and it's smoother and floofier, as the theme is today. And so with that floofiness, the pastel pencils, sticks, when you put them on top of PanPastel, it's stronger, and they hang out on top. They don't dig into the paper until you layer, 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 layer. So if I was doing a lot of pastel pencils and I'm layering, then I want to build up and fill that tooth, and then they start floating around a little bit, and that's the same with sticks. So until you get that tooth filled up to a certain amount, they sit on top. And the more you use them, you'll kind of understand with what I'm saying. Like, you can really see how they hang out. And when you touch them with a tool, they knock down really easy. So you don't really want to hit them with a tool unless you want to break them up. And I do that on purpose. Like, I'll be like, well, that's too much pattern there. I'm going to break some of that up, and I'll put it over with a tool. But I will always usually try to get as much done with my PanPastel before I do the pencils. And if I go back in over it, it's with the intention of breaking things up. So thank you, Gel, for your kind words. I'm so glad that you're liking it. These are also the colors of your living room. Well, that's cool. God, I used to want, I couldn't wait. I rented house and apartments all the way up till I was 40. And when I got into a house, I thought I would want a lot of color. But then I'm such a colorful artist, and I like colorful things, that I tone my walls down so those won't be too much. But sometimes I wish I had the courage to paint a lot of color. You would think I would, but I actually don't. Let's see. Oh, Jill, oh, you're gonna buy it so it hangs in your living room. Oh, that's really sweet.
I just thought the same thing. It's made for her. That's really sweet. Great explanation for sitting on top. I'm glad you think so. I'm glad you think so. All right, so that is why I really wanted to spend that time of getting it set up with those pan pastels, because I've just noticed over time that that's what happens if I go in with the pastel pencils. If I do the pencils really soon, it's a lot when I'm really heavily trying to abstract something out. I will do it on the first layer. So I'm gonna go in, I have a pencil here that's very similar. Let's see, I put all of these, those were something else. Let's see it, I'm looking for this one again, yep. So I'm thinking, I don't know if I want to do this, I might add some more pan pastel in here first real quick. Because once I put those pencils in, I know that's it. So I'm gonna bring this down a little bit. So that's the red iron oxide. I love that color so much. And then I'm putting a little bit of the burnt sienna in there. And I'm thinking about doing a little doodle on the chest. And I'll probably put a little bit of this magenta actually right here. Maybe the purple actually. Yeah, I'm gonna go like this, because then that's gonna make that heart not sit on top so much. So I'm gonna go back and forth with a few colors here, because I know I gotta get these values set before I go in with a pencil. Pretty much, you know, I don't wanna, and then I have to remember I have my dark wand, and then I have my lighter wands, but they all end up being the same wand at the end. I just can't help myself. So I try. So I'm gonna create a little bit, sometimes I don't even know why I'm holding the stick. I don't really need it right at the moment. I think it's just my brain doing so many different things. So you can see how I just took some time in there and I rainbowed that out a bit. I'm not sure if I'm gonna like this, but I do wanna put some little wisps in there. And so usually I'll try to like pick something to ground it on. And I'll bury those. You'll see how I do that in just a minute. So I'm kind of connecting it into the flowers. I think that's kind of fun. Okay, and then I'm going to take this one. So I start doing that on top, and then that's going to have a life of its own. So it's a little bit of a higher value than everything that's on there. If I did white, I'd really have to play with that quite a bit. So this is the 191. It's actually a peachier color than the one I thought I was going to use. I thought I was grabbing this one, and then I can play around with that and just see what I want. I like that they're attached to the flowers. That's kind of fun. And this is where I'll start, you know, abstracting things out a bit. You have to start somewhere. So if you get your some of like the doodles and stuff that you like, if you have a journal and you start drawing more, and when you draw something and you like the doodle you put in, you know, log that down, because I think it helps kind of starting to recognize what you like. I'm going to do it here too, I think. I'll do 3s. Why not? Maybe I'll do them all. I don't know. We'll see here.
I'm messing it up just a little bit so it's not so perfect. See, I have to go out of my way to do that. See how that kind of looks a little bit more free? And then what you do is now I'll hit with my finger right where they touch. And now you're going to see it drop back into the wing. So wherever I've touched them, it's going to knock that down a bit. Compromise, it doesn't seem to work out. Let's see what, okay. Oh, wow. Let's see here. You guys have been busy. 25 lovely peeps here today in the live stream and only 10 thumbs up. Give it a thumbs up. Thank you so much. The thumbs up really help. I really appreciate it. You guys watching the videos all the way through are amazing help too. That is so helpful. I appreciate the thumbs up and the support. This is a great community. I think this is one of the best decisions I ever made. Is just I really miss connecting with other creatives, and what I love about it the most is just inspiring others to want to show up and create and try something different, and also just kind of share that we all have these same things going on in our head, even if we're 6 years into the process, 20 years into the process, or a newbie. So it's wonderful to be here with all of you. Also, don't forget to comment. I love that, Louise. Thank you so much. I've got the problem that my husband wants to paint the walls real bright colors and I prefer more neutral so the artwork stands out and doesn't compete with the wall color. Yeah, I totally have the same thing, and that's why most of my walls are pretty neutral right now. Thank you, thank you. A neutral gallery wall, I love that. All right. Gel, question. Just to clarify about the combination pan pastels and pencils, is to have a good layer of pan pastels before I could use the pastel pencils. I have trouble when I use the pencils on top. It looks like the pencils scrape the layer underneath and there's no color. Well, Gel, that might have a lot to do with the paper that you're on. If you're on the pastel matte, if the pastel matte is your jam, then it's great. But for this style, it just doesn't really work as well. I'll show you. I'll put like a layer down on this pastel matte. And I'm not sure if you're using pastel matte. I'm just saying, but it'll take some pencils a little bit. But once they start going up on a layer, like they're great on the first layer. But if I have like 2 layers of pan pastel on here, this paper fills up really quickly. It'll start canceling out and I can't do as much, and I can't get the same style, the look I want. If I'm on the like a sanded paper and I have multiple layers, like you can see me working with right now, like I'm going to put 3 layers on here. Well, I don't know why I picked that color, but. And then when I put the pencil on, I can still do, it doesn't fade out at all. I have the bright vibrancies, I can do soft. I just don't have that same ability with it on the pastel matte. But there's many artists who do amazing things with pastel matte. This is just more of a free style, so that's a little bit like that. Oh, the dining room door. You guys, you remembered that, Laura. I was thinking of live streaming it. Maybe on a different day or something. I have all the paper. I'm ready to do the black pan pastel on my dining room door. It's huge. And then that door is hung on my living room, my dining room wall. And I'll definitely have to show you guys that once I get it going. Let's see. Yeah, you art for me is the bee's knees. But like I had a woman, I don't remember who it was. I can't remember. I got to go back to my messages and see, but she uses pastel matte, loves it, and then used UArt and ended up not liking it. You get used to what you're using. So that's why I love this so much, is I'm just used to it. It does what I want it to do. So that is why I'm so into it. And I do think having a sanded paper makes a huge difference.
All right, I think I'm caught up on chat. We got 23 of you in here. I'm so happy that you're here. And I'm gonna go through, I got this little whimsical part that I'm really liking, and I'm gonna go and add a little bit of zing to it. And I'm trying to pick what color I wanna do. I think I'm gonna pull I have this beautiful purple violet, and it's a 99, and it's a Carandache. These really sit on top of the paper, so I'm just going to put a little bit of that in, and then I can even color in some of these. And I don't, you know, if I like it, I might go a little darker. Actually liked it a little darker. I can fix that. Because I'm just playing, so it's like, I'm not going to fill them all in, but I'm going to do a couple of them. I'm going to grab hopefully I got this one right. Yeah. I might just keep it like that and then leave the rest. Let's just see here. So you can do as much as you little. I could have just left it and it could have been nice and fluffy, but I didn't. So it's just a test. You know, everything's changeable if I wanted to change it. But sometimes I probably could have left it. I think I might have liked it a little bit better, but it's totally fine. Sometimes I have a hard time leaving things delicate. Okay, I'm gonna work on the heart, and then I can come in. I'll probably end up doing something right there because I can't take it. And then I'm gonna work on getting this heart area worked out here. And hopefully I don't melt in here. It's getting warm, people. 310, this is a 310. It is the Carmine red. I'm really liking the red in this area. And then I can take some of these lines and bury it. Okay. So this is all personal preference, of course. You know, I can go and have a heyday all day with this stuff. So I am going to put a little bit into these flowers to have that red pop through. And then I'm going to start bringing up the flowers a little bit with my, I have this pencil that I love. I use it all the time. It's here. Doing the pencil dig. Don't mind me. I'll get back on track here. Ha! I just used it for the, it's the
white, and it's, here it is. It was buried under the purple. So this is the 700, and I'm gonna bring up all of these little daisies with their light. So and because I have that underpainting, I can really just leave some of it,
and it's just going to bring up the flowers
to look like they have light on them. And I can go back and forth with another pencil to blend it if I feel like I went too much. So I'm just hitting where I think the light's going to be the most. Sometimes I even like to go like that, like put a little thing around them. Such a preference. Like you just got to figure out what you love, and then I can knock that down even more. So this big guy here, I'm gonna have to kind of in a weird angle. I really want my pencil to kind of create some fun marks here. And then if I want that to be blended a little bit, I can knock it down a little bit with my finger. Just have to make sure that when you knock things down, to wipe your finger off, because it will carry more of that along the way. I'm going to use my diazonine purple, and this is a 260, and I'm going to go back into some of these little cracks here around. So a lot of it's a wiggle back and forth. I really like that in my process. All right.
Oh, it's turning more feminine with the pink cheeks. It's true. It's amazing what color can do, right? Oh, good, Gel. I'm glad that's it. Cool, do the door. Yeah, I'm definitely going to do that. I was going to put a huge owl on it. It's so hard. I want to do so many things. Love the red. Ah, the dreaded pre-colored finger crossover. Oops. Yeah, I'm totally feeling that. So now I feel like I'm touching in. I got a lot of things going on here. I'm going to work on the rainbow a little bit. And with that, I'm just going to kind of try to create some value change with different colors here. And I'm going to go and bring in, like I have this 330. Now this is it's called purple. It's interesting because it's definitely a warmish kind of purple. I don't know, it's kind of cool, but I don't think purple. I think more of a maroon. So you can see how the rainbows, I'm creating some interest by making it go a little bit darker. And now I'm going to get a darker, I have this 670, and the 670 is the burnt sienna, so it's definitely in this family right here. And burnt sienna is really close to orange. It's just neutraled out, you know, so I'm gonna put a little bit of that down here to create some interest in my rainbow and make that brightness be out. So you can see how that is working with the rainbow. And then if I have it in my hand, I'll go, okay, well, I can carry that around a few different places. This is all burnt sienna, so I could, you know, do some
scribbles. So all those colors underneath are just like giving me ideas. They're actually kind of talking to me and saying, okay, go over here, do something over here. Put some patterns in right here. So this is pretty close to my same value. So I'm gonna go and play a little bit. This is like a lot like the yellow oxide. It's a 690. And I'm gonna bring that up here and just bring up some of this area in here. And that'll blend out when I go over it with another color. And this is where I can make them a little pointier. I'm going to put some marks in here, like owls have these little either swoops or dots, and I'm just going to put in a few dots and then get them blended in there. And I think I'm going to use a little bit, actually, a brighter purple. And then I'll catch up on chat here. So we're just trying to give like the abstraction of that there's, you know, feather separations there. You're not trying to be so literal. Okay. Am I the only one that has a full-on conversation with the piece that they're working on? Stacy, I won't say what conversations I have. Okay, Lewis, you can plead the fifth. But my dad was a sailor, and I could say I have a real potty mouth when things aren't going well. Yeah, I'm the same. You know, I talk to my work all the time, but I do, I have realized since doing the lives, I get a lot of that out of me. And I actually spent yesterday painting my own piece for the first time in like 3 months. And I didn't say a whole lot because I talk so much in here. So I had music going for the first time because I usually create with music. And it was really nice. But yeah, I have conversations with myself all the time. Sometimes I really don't want a conversation. So I'm trying to knock these down so it actually looks like a feather. And I'm okay if they smear a little bit because it's going to knock it back and make it look a little bit more real. And then I can take the darker one and hit that a little bit. So it just, with the pastel pencils, it really helps it look more real on some of these areas when you knock it back. I'll make sure those are equal. Okay. So this is that diazonine pencil from Derwent. I don't have a lot of Derwent pencils, but I will buy anything in purple because purple and greens are hard to in pastel to get the ones that you want. So I'm just going around and adding some mark making with it, and helping me with transitions. So a lot of it's about, I put these choppy things down and now I want to like transition it and make them look a part of each other. So my whole goal is that right now. This is a great pencil for some marks down here. I'll even put okay, I'm liking that. So I'm just leaning into like intuitively putting some marks around, and I usually try to mimic it a few times somewhere. So you can see I did that in 3 areas, and I feel like it's starting to come together, guys. I can't believe what time it is. It's 2:42. I might end up having to go a little bit later today. But I'm feeling pretty good about it. Let me check up on chat here. You guys are cracking me up. We don't have that in New Zealand. Oh, that's funny. Become one with the piece. I never talk to my painting. Maybe I need to start. Oh, that's cute, Deanna. Hey, you know. What do I listen to? Like for music? I just have a playlist. I have like an upbeat one. I listen to all kinds of music. I like, oh man, I'm so bad with names. I have all kinds of music. Maybe I'll share my Spotify in the Facebook group or something. Maybe I'll do that. That'd be fun. Yeah, it depends on what I'm in the mood for too. Oh, Kez is here. Welcome. Good morning. So glad you're here. You're in Australia. I love that. All the greens and purples. You guys have been busy. Hi, Peg. Welcome. I'm so glad that you're here. I guess if we're doing it, it must be normal. Man, you guys have been busy chatting. Yeah, it does go really fast. Wait till you see the piece when I show you the before and after. Okay, so I'm going to work a little bit down here, and what I'm going to do is I want to find a really dark pencil, and I'm actually going to probably use that shadow pencil that I keep talking about that I love. It's that 175. I mean, you could use black, but owls have that wonderful stripe in their feathers. Let me see if this is dark enough for what I want. Yeah. So I'm going to put that stripe in now. So when I have a reference photo, I'm not trying to copy the owl exactly, but I'll pick up little nuances of the owl, like the stripes, and then I'll try to incorporate that. So this really gives him that owl vibe that I find is a lot of fun. I know I have one extra line on the side. I don't know how it happened, but I like that. I'm going to put some stripes in here. I should have curved that one. I'm going to do that one again. So I'll show you how I make a change. I'm just going to hit it with a little bit of the same color that was underneath, and pastel pencils really knock down when you use them. I'll usually put my black line back in a little bit. And then I might hit it over a little bit with color so it doesn't look so perfect sitting there. That's fine if it's a little bit. I'm tapping a little bit of black in to get it the right color. And I want it to be a little bit curvier. Yeah, I like that. So I'm just trying to make it look like that there's, you know, the wings. And then I'll go and I'm trying to make the connection like that. And then I can even take and put some purples in. The purples, the violets and stuff look really good. And with this brown, the burnt sienna. So I could integrate some of that in there. You just learn after time of what kind of works together. And I can even put a little bit of this, maybe even pick a darker one. I have this. This is the, this one just keeps breaking. My 105, it's a Carandache. I can put a little bit of the purple in to accent this little look on his wing. And then when I have this in my hand, I'll usually go put it in a few other areas. And then we got to work on these clouds. So now I got it in my hand. So I'm just going to So I'm harmonizing it around by moving around a little bit. And that's going to make the color look like it's part of the piece. So I'm really feeling good about the pattern down below. I want to put a little bit more pattern down here. See how this one's a little bit brighter, so I can have some fun with that. So the base color just really just says, okay, what are you going to do? You can do something similar. And then once I have something in there, then I'm going to, you know, mess it up a little bit. I like this bright color, so I might put that right here. Touch it into these flowers a little bit. Yeah. I'm going to take the black and I'm going to put those fun stripes in the tail that's far behind. And I'm going to pick black because I don't want it to show up in the sense of like, I want to push it back. So, oh, you guys can't hear it right now, but my little dog is having like a dream and he's making little noises. It's so cute. I love it when they're sleeping like that. They feel safe. Okay, so I'm kind of at a weird angle here, but I'm going to get these stripes in. So you can see whenever I get a pencil in my hand, I end up using it around somewhere. You know, I guess it's efficiency. I don't know. I really like this messy kind of, you know, mixed. It reminds me of my mixed media days. And so I like to create the chaos, organized chaos. And I love to incorporate patterns and different things. And the vibe I can get where it's like abstract is, I mean, like mixed media, and abstracting it out is the way to kind of make that other layer, like I put a paint stroke over it, is to then blend it in like that. See? So I'll take a pattern or dot and then I'll go over it a bit. And this is a really dark pencil, and I'm going to use this pattern right here with my PanPastel. I just got to find my darker wand. It looks like this is going to be the one. And I'm going to show you how I'm going to use this and put some pattern in. So that's going to like connect those darks and not make it look so out there. Then I can combine that pattern a little bit. I can pop that around a little bit. Oh, Deanna, what would this owl say if she could talk back at you? I love that. Well, I think right now it's telling me I'm doing a good job. I feel pretty good about it. A lot of it's just my inner voice, you know, like judging myself, and I'm getting better at that. So, yeah, you know, I'll make up I'm trying to get better at making up stories and stuff, like this one being the guardian of creativity. And yeah, I don't think I have full conversations, but most of it's myself. But yeah, right now I think it's giving me some good vibes. I love it when pups try to chase things down in a dream and they wake themselves up and growl. I know, it's so cute. That is so cute, Stacy. I love how the dark on the bottom to the light on top makes him seem like he's revealing his power. Thank you, Francine. I love that too. I love playing with light. So that has just been my favorite thing right now. Set yourself free, leave your baggage at the door. That could be what it's saying. I love that temple. Your patterns and marks all read together as abstract yet deliberate as well. That's my goal, and a lot of it's just kind of merging color together and transitions. It's all a lot of it about closing the gap between the darks. So I feel like I have a little ways to go, but I feel like we're on a good track. Oh, we were all agreeing with Francine because that was awesome. Oh, I missed the thing about the fatigue. Let me see. Ooh, I'll have to check out that song, the song Wild Eyes. I put it on one of my Insta. I love that song. That's one of my, yeah, that is one of them. I love that song. Perfect example of a quick change artist. Oh, you guys are awesome. I'm making sure I'm not missing anything. So if I miss something, definitely ask. Pam, I'm so glad that you're here. And yeah, definitely it takes a lot of practice. Oh my gosh, is Michelle? Oh, Michelle, you are such a natural teacher. Oh, thank you so much. That's so kind. I feel like I'm meant to be here. I really love sharing my passion of this medium, and it's so magical. You can do so many things. And I think it really lends to you really finding your style a lot quicker because you can move through things a lot easier. So I just realized that these little flowers on the body I haven't really done yet. So I'm going to pull these up. So just a reminder, if you didn't get the line art for this, it's definitely helpful to do the line art and follow through on something. I mean, this isn't a full class, it's a demo. But the reason why I encourage line art is because it just gives you freedom to not think about all the other things, and it allows you to really soak in the colors and other things I'm talking about. So in all my online classes, I have line art for them, and I just find that really helps the student focus on painting and color and all of that. So it's free in my PanPastel library. Definitely sign up for that if you haven't already. Okay, so I'm going to stand back here. Let's figure out where I want to go the most. Since we have 30 minutes, I'll probably be here a little bit longer. I'm really liking the darks at the bottom. I feel like that's pretty good right now. I want to work on the rainbow, and I want to work on the clouds and the transition in this area, like right here. This is not really defined that much, and I want to blend in the rainbow, and I have to work on a little hair too.
Michelle's here. Welcome, Michelle. I'm so glad. Good morning. Another Aussie. So glad you're here. I love that you're popping in. I know it's so early for you guys. You're right where you need to be. That much is true. A natural progression in your personal and art journey, it seems. A challenge to break out of your comfort zone. Yeah, that's so true. Thank you so much, Lynn. I appreciate your guys' kind words. I really wouldn't be here if I didn't have this wonderful community, so I'm so glad you guys are here. Yeah, you know, I just sat there, like, just think. I've been doing all these lives and everything, and I finally just said, I'm taking 15 minutes a day and going to work on my piece first. So I worked on my own piece today, and it felt really good. You have to have that time for yourself, and I tease my brain, I trick it. I say, well, I'm just going to show up for 5 minutes. And that really tricks my brain, because I usually, most of the time, will end up being there longer than 5 minutes. And I find that a really powerful one for myself. So I'm coming back in here with some PanPastel to really flesh out some of these areas. You can't do clouds with the pencils as easy, so I'm working on the clouds. So the clouds, the big thing is building up from value too, and I'm going to have to bring a white in over my raw umber. So we're going to give these clouds some attention. And I'm hem-hawing. I think I might merge this in a little bit. I'd say my challenge with the clouds is leaving them. I get into a blend fest. And I'm okay if they're gonna go into these flowers and kind of become one with the flowers a little bit. So I use white when I know I really want to bring that up bright right there. And I'm also gonna bring that over right here. I wipe off when I want to blend. So I want that to look, whoops, my towel just caught my tool. So I want this to blend and mist out a little bit right here. See how that did that? So it's not so sharp. So like right here is a really sharp spot, and that's great for some clouds for sure. You got to find your jam with the clouds, and they definitely take some practice, but I wiped off my tool and now I can blend that. You see that? And so that's going to blend that back. If you haven't and already, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe and comment. Oh, you're awesome, Michelle. I missed you. I missed you. I appreciate the line art, not because I can't do it, but it saves my energy for the painting. Temple, I'm so glad you think that too. I really think that the line art just helps so much in the learning process. Like, you know, I know it's, you don't have your exact style yet or whatever, but when you're trying to learn, you want to be able to soak it all in, and our brains can only take so much in at once. And I think we should give ourselves some slack about trying to find our style right away and being afraid of taking the teacher's line art or help along the way in that, because we just have to give ourselves that space to learn and give ourselves that time and that grace. And if you're trying to do your own thing so quickly and not taking this moment to do that for yourself, I think you miss out. I've watched a lot of students who skip the line art, then they don't really get the whole vibe of the class as much, and they're struggling with their own proportions or whatever, and this is a unique style. So I would say if you want to draw more is the advice I can give people who want to create more whimsy and abstract in their piece is I just draw
stuff. I draw some weird stuff, guys. Like, and they're not fleshed out drawings. They're just sketches. And then I almost like do that automated, you know, what do they do when you just show up and scribble? That's where a lot of this comes from. And I took a challenge up quite a few years ago. And you know how everyone does a challenge and they do the 100 days and they have all those restrictions and stuff. And I don't know, I probably said this already in a live, but I did the challenge. I said, I just can't live up to this challenge like everyone else is doing. And I made my own challenge, and it was the challenge of just making a circle every day. And I realized that the challenge is really just showing up. 90% of it's showing up. It's really not about anything else. And so if I knew if I showed up, I would be fine. And I would say that was the biggest thing I ever did in my life. Like in my artistic career, I just showed up, and I didn't try to finish a drawing. I just drew lines, I scribbled, I made eyeballs, I made, you know, weird owls. I did all kinds of weird stuff, and I still do. And I did that, and I ended up doing it for a year and a half straight. And I will say I probably only made probably a handful of circles where I would wake up and go, crap, I forgot, and I would make a circle. But it trained my brain to show up and realize that I could just show up for a few minutes or a few hours. And that's what taught me to show up in my creativity, was just doing this circle every day. And if we can all do a circle. So in those days when I did a circle, I wasn't hard on myself either. I was just like, you know what? It just didn't work out that day. And I really elevated my art for that year and a half. Best thing I've ever done. And it really changed my life. And we just got to make things like easier for ourselves, and doing everything how everyone else is doing doesn't always necessarily serve us, right? So if there's a challenge you want to do, even if it's just, you know, the cool thing about pastel is you can show up like this. You're not having to mix paint or anything. If you just have a scrap piece of paper, you could just move it around every day. Like say, hey, I'm going to show up and make a circle of pastel. So it's definitely a powerful practice, because it really is all about the practice. It's not really about the end result as much. It's about just showing up, because that's the only thing we can control, is showing up, right? So I don't know, there's my little rant about that. But it was such a powerful thing. I really like to share that story with you guys. You guys getting your morning coffee? Oh, Kez is still in bed. Kez, you're one loyal peep. You're amazing, Kez. It's 6 a.m. God, that's so early. You are so sweet to be here, you guys. Just making sure I'm not missing anything. You guys are lovely, just chatting away here. Awesome. I'm all caught up. Okay, so we got the clouds in here. I'm going to look back here because these are pretty bright right here. So I'm going to carry these down. And I'm going to put another spot in here. So every time I go out of frame, I'm wiping my tool off. Clouds are a little tricky that way. They pick up the black underneath, and then I'm wiping that off. So I'm going to add this vibe of mist around. I'm not adding a ton. I want it like it's going behind there a little bit. And wherever you put the tool down, it's going to be the brightest, where you put the tool down the first. All right, so I got that carried out down there. I don't want to really put anything right here.
think I'm gonna leave the clouds. Might be a mistake I put them right here. I think if I fluff this out a little bit more, it's going to be fine. So I got to bring them up a little bit. And when you go over something, you get that kind of like see-through, like it's down in the background. So you want to have some of that back there so you can see it. So you can see it's picking up. I'm wiping it off. And it's a little dance. So I'm going to put them right here. Gosh, you guys, it's 3:06 already. I'm just going around and smoothing some of these out. I like the contrast right here, so I'm going to try not to mess with that too much. And I'm going to try to smooth some of these out a little bit. And then I'll hit them again. I like that black peeking through the top. I have to just be careful with it. There we go. So when things go out to the edge out here, I want to make them not as dominant. I want to fluff them out. I really love that color there. I don't want to mess with that too much. So I'm going to work on smoothing this out a bit. And that's going to give your eye a little bit of a place to rest. Thank you, Peg. I'm glad you like it. The clouds are my favorite. I love doing the clouds. And Paula's here. Paula, welcome. I'm so glad you're here. Welcome, Paula. Yay, she's here. That's awesome. Okay, I'm gonna stand back. And I'm looking at it and I'm trying to see what I might want to play with a little bit. I like to blend, like take an edge off, and I want to do that side, but I don't want this side. I think that's kind of working there. I might hit it up a little bit right there. Yeah, and then right here. It's kind of like the clouds just going behind a little bit. And now I can take that rainbow and play with it with the pencils. I also see some things in the feathers that I want to play with. So I feel like I got the clouds up to a good spot. I really love the colors here. I'm going to mix this beautiful violet with the magenta, and I'm going to try to put some of that in here. And that's going to give this I don't care if they blend together a little bit. So this is an example of closing the gap a little bit, is I'm going to spend some focus on
these little gaps of the rainbow, they're pretty dominant. I'm really loving the flowers the way they are. I'm gonna use some tint right there. I might do that and then take this white pencil. So I always am into transitions. So when you're thinking about this, I'll even take this moment and then add some polka dots. And so you can see the whimsy kind of building up a little bit there. You can blend in some of these edges of the flowers. Okay. Oh no, I just scrolled up, but I can't see. Okay, I don't know if I missed something, you guys. Someone's saying they scrolled up and they couldn't see. For a second, she'll copy and paste it. Oh, Deanna, gotta go. We'll catch the ending later, Dawn. Thank you so much for sharing your talent with us today. Bye, Deanna. Have a great one. Thank you for your kind words. I'm glad you're liking it. Thank you so much. Kez, thank you so much. Stacy. So I don't know if you guys, I think you, it won't let me pin that still. Just a reminder for the line art, if you want the line art, you have to sign up for my PanPastel library. That is in the link in below. And I don't know why it won't let me pin it. So that's odd. So I'm just going to paste it one more time here. And if I've missed something, definitely repeat yourself. Okay, so I feel like we're doing a pretty good job here. Now I want to really bring up some of this rainbow. We're gonna do that. I have a really bright pencil that I put away down here. I'm gonna grab real quick. I didn't think I wanted it, and then I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna get a bright yellow. Okay. All right. So this is the $6.95. I just want to have a little bit of brighter spot here. And they do shed, so you have to be aware that you're going to have to deal with the shedding. I have this Carandache. It is a really juicy, almost like a tangerine. It's a 50. I don't know, I'm just not getting the vibrancy I want up here, so I'm going to see if this will help. Boy, that is a fun color. I'm going to put these little stripes in, I think with this color. Let me see how it'll look. I like that color. That's juicy. So you can see once I get a color that I like, I'm going to pop it in.
All right. Oh, that's funny. The definite, it might be the streaming messed with the high definition. I'm not sure. This is a Carandache 820. I'm just grabbing some random colors. I want this to look a little bit more glowy. So I'm going to play with that here. I like this color. I really like these Carandache pencils. They do sit on top of the paper more. They're a soft pencil. That's why when I say that, they're just softer. So, so softer allows you to have more layers. So it's a good thing. I'm going to use this Cap Hoop Mortem. I got that down now, guys. 642. And I'm going to put some of that in the flowers. And I'm going to go right here. Well, that might be a little dull for right there, but I can always knock that. I like that. So when I looked on my camera, I can just see some spots that it's pretty bright for down there. I'm gonna knock that down and put a darker color there. So you can see how I could just go on and on. So I'm really focusing on getting this chest kind of up here. I think that's what I'm going to do, is work on this area. I want that rainbow to be kind of like
echoing in the, oh, I like this pink. So this helps me with the transitions. So I put a lot of color up here, and this pencil, the reason why I'm oohing and ahhing on it is it's at this value that allows me to touch almost everything, and it brings it all together, if that makes sense. See how the right side, I mean, it looks a little bit less choppier than the... So this style that I've come up with for myself lends me to like really feel like I can be too much and do too much and not really ruin it. I like that. I like the meditative stuff of doing all the mark making. I mean, I am not in a rush to get the piece done. The only reason why I would be in a rush is because it's alive and we only have so much time. But I could spend a long time just doodling with this stuff, you know? Ooh, am I frozen up? Oh, I froze up on here just a second. I hope you guys haven't frozen up. I hope it's just me. Okay, I'm back now. I hope it's back. Was it just me that it was frozen? I hope not. I hope it was just me, I mean. Oh, you're welcome, Michelle. I'm glad you're liking the free line art. I'm going to do that with a few of my pieces. So it just kind of gives you the ability to have some fun and play along. I usually just do that for my paid classes. So I thought every once in a while I would do it for a live stream. I should watch this on my 75-inch. Yeah, I watched it on the big TV. It's so nice. Dawn, how do you know when you finish a piece and when to stop? You know, that's what I was just kind of talking about is like, for me, I like all these moments in my style. I've made it to be where I could play a lot and add a lot of layers. Like this could be really done for someone, but maybe not for someone else. For me, I'm just having fun getting it all messy and so I'm enjoying that. And so I could keep going, and I think I just stop when I just feel like I've done everything I've wanted to do and there's really nothing left. I don't really have like a full like reasoning on it. I think that's why I've built this kind of style is I want to play until I want to feel done, you know, like, and I really like, I have a lot of fun doing that. I think the big thing is what I'm trying to do is spend a lot of time harmonizing and bringing things together. So those are colors that I'm trying to harmonize. So when I feel like I got a good harmonization, that really helps too. So it helps me kind of go, okay, I think I'm ready. So I'm spending a lot of this time transition. So when things are chopped up, I'm trying to transition them to look like they are one. And that's basically what I'm doing the whole time is building bridges between these chunks of color that I did. But I have a lot of structure in there and I spend a lot of time breaking it down. And I'm okay with that. I really enjoy doing that. And that's how I get my rainbow look is I'm spending a lot of time harmonizing the colors and bringing them together. And I could go a long time with that because that's where the rainbow comes from, is going back and forth and really playing and just kind of bringing that kind of inner child vibe. And I think that's why I like this paper, is because I can go and go and go, and that brings me a lot of joy. So a lot of it, I'm trying to get the value up and all of that, and just keep bringing things together. So if I see something that looks a little flat to me, like just this little flower right here, I just want to pop it up a little bit. So I will accent things, and the colors below just kind of guide me. And I really want to find that peachy color that I was using. I wish I would have written it down. Those are those moments. I think it's this one. That one's close. So my whole goal is to have it look rainbowy and blended to a certain degree. So I have some yellow there. I want to use my darker yellow. This is a 183. And I'm just going to close some of these gaps a little bit. I'm going to bury some of these lines. I'm keeping the brighter spot up there. And then I'll go over it with a little bit brighter. This is the 690. It's in the yellow Oxide. And if you can't bury a line all the way, then I'll erase it. But so far I'm feeling pretty good about the lines. So I'm hitting the oranges. This is a 215. And you can just see how I hit things multiple times. I'm hitting the tips here because I want those tips to be a little bit brighter of a value than everything else. I'm using this color because it's kind of in between those two colors, just to kind of rainbow it out a bit. So I'm just hitting these flowers like they're being tipped with the light. And then let's see here. Not just streaming. Internet takes a dive for a weekish every month or so and then gets lightning fast again. Yeah, for some reason my my internet's been a little weird this week. Just you. Okay. Oh, I'm a little behind on chat. Yes, I saw your line art on the course. I bought it. It's brilliant. I should get a bigger tracing paper today. Yeah, you know, and with the line art, just remember, you can just put the PanPastel on the back of the printout and just use that if you want. If you're taking an earlier class, I might not have shown that, like catching the light. Let's see. I'm hoping your laptop is working too. Francine, I want to play until I feel done. I know, right? That should define art. I totally agree. But you can see, like, you're going to see, I'm going to put the reveal up because it's 3:30 and I'll show you guys how far we've come. I think you'll be pretty surprised.
The more you make your finishing touches, the more personalized you make it. I agree. I think you become where your hand, your mark making is pretty powerful, and it's your mark, you know, it's your thing. And I think that can be really powerful. So, sounds like you're about ready for a pastel liftoff there, Michelle. It takes a lot to get the ducks lined up. So true. Pastel liftoff. Woo woo! Loving that. That's when your art talks back to you. Oh, I love that. That speaks to me because I can just easily copy the work in a lesson, but it's more important to me to keep going until I've exhausted all the playtime. Yeah, I totally agree. Yes, pastel liftoff for sure. I'm already done my feather from the course last night and popped it on Facebook group. Oh, I'll go check that out. I got all caught up on Facebook, you guys. I was a little behind, but I'm pretty getting back into the groove here. And all right, let me see here. I'm gonna look at this little guy. I feel like, so you can see I'm just constantly kind of trying to do a transition. Keep playing with that spot right there. Okay, I'm gonna look at this. I'm gonna tap it off here. Usually I would blow that off, but let's see. I'm feeling pretty good about them. I'm gonna show you guys the reveal, the before and after, and I might do some finishing touches with some of the rusty looking areas. I feel like they're pretty dominant, but I'm gonna give you the reveal. You guys ready? Drum roll. It's pretty surprising, the before and after. So here, let me take this down. I'm gonna take the ugly stuff down. Here we go. Okay, there's where we were. And then this is where we're at. So you can see just taking that time to layer, layer, layer on, it really makes a difference. Like look at, just focus on one thing like the rainbow, like right here. Like you can see how that's really transitioned. I'll do a halfie here. The heart, you can see how I've really merged that. I have some of the black peeking through. It's really about burying some of those black lines. I'm not wanting all the black lines at the end. So the little details really stand out, the lines, the mark making. It was really blotchy, and that's all the blocking in stage. So this can be a lot of uncomfortable for people. And you really just gotta like realize that's part of the process. You're getting up to the layer, and you gotta have patience for the fun stuff. So once I get all of this up from the, you know, Tuesday, which I just think everyone should come to Thursday, then I can go and have fun and start merging all those together. And of course, this is a little bit brighter, but like even the eyes and the face, you can just see how those little details when the nose really bring him out. And I just think that that's really a powerful journey. The clouds I'm really loving. And this is like one of those moments too, like if I was doing a class, a full class, I would sit there and go, okay, I'm gonna sit with this overnight, and then I'm gonna come back and say if there's anything that I would change. And then I take a photo of it on my phone, and when I do the photo on my phone, I just stare at that for a day or so. And then I come back, and that's how I can come up with my changes. If I was sitting here for hours and hours and hours, I just don't think I can see the painting as fresh, and that's just really a big one for me that I try to express even in the classes. Thank you guys for all the kind words. I probably say this every week, but he's my favorite. I love that, Francine. I love that. Thank you so much, you guys. Peg, Kez, Michelle, Lori, thank you. Thank you, Loretta, Stacy, and all of you. Lynn, before and after is very dramatic. Yeah, I did that in my last class too, because I got that from the lives, and I'm like, hey, I'm gonna make this change. It's a small one, but I want you to see how big of a difference it can make. And it's pretty powerful. Temple, Don, what a fun painting to watch the transformation. Thank you so much for your fun live. We'll see you next week. Thank you guys. Thanks for the chat, the super chat too. That was really awesome. Love this, such a depth on your final. I love the before and after. Thank you, Laura. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you, guys. Well, you guys, I'm just going to play around a little bit with some of these darks, and you're welcome to hang around if you want. I would love that, but I know some of you guys got to go. Bye, Francine. Take care. Take care. So I'm just going to do a little bit on some of these darks here and play around. I just want to what I'm seeing is this rusty look has no transitions in it. So I'm going to do something like this 330. And this 330 pencil is the purple one I was using earlier. And I'm just going to show you how I can really build some interest in these rusty areas. I might even put a little bit of it on the wing, like maybe right here on the tips. And this is just my love for rainbowing out. And then I'll maybe add some dots. And so this is going to really, I'm going to put some in between here. And then when I have something really strong like this right here, I'll either take a color that's similar and then I go and blend into it. So that's a little bright. This one's a little better. And then I mess it up, see? So I'm just creating transitions. This purple is really pretty in that rusty area too. And it also is right next to it. Some of these little moments can be the most powerful, in my opinion, of a piece when it's done. They seem really benign, but you'll look back and you'll go, oh, I love that little mark I made there. It really added that something it needed, you know, like, I don't know. I guess this is the part that is my favorite. Plus I'm having such a good time here with you guys. Of course, I never want it to end. Like I got this spot here that's a little dark. So I'm just adding a little bit of color and saturation in there with that transition. It's all about transitions. So I'll knock back some of the black, you know, edges on there. And this is how I rainbow things out. And this is fun. This is where I get to be my inner child, you know, I get to let it out. So you can see like just that spot down there in the corner now has a lot more interest in it, in my opinion. I mean, this is just me, my own personal preference. But I have a darker spot there. I want to maybe I think this is when I do those abstracts, when I'm just full on abstract. It's my favorite part too. So I'm just putting a repetitive line. I'm liking that. So we spent all the time getting ourselves here, and now I
I want to relish in it, you know, roll around in it a whole bunch because it's just so much fun. And you know, it's all preference. I mean, some people this might be really busy, but I dig it. I want that little spot there to be a little bit. There we go. Okay, I'm gonna do one more thing that I think I'm gonna really like, is I'm just gonna put a few like dots. And oh, there's still a few of you here. There's 19 of you. Awesome. Well, bye, Kez. I'm sure I'm late on that. Wouldn't it be wonderful if we were in the same place and we could sip tea and wine and play with pan pastels and just be royalty all day? Hashtag perfect world. That sounds awesome. I love that. Fear of missing out, Francine. What time would it be? Temple, I only know what that means because I've got adult kids. Oh. So I like having this celestial vibe. And I'm just going to add a few of these little white, kind of like starry, floaty, orby things. Plus, who doesn't like white? Those white dots are always like, I don't know, they're kind of like that icing on the cake that... Well, if you guys have any questions, right now is about the time because I'm probably going to be wrapping up here in just a minute. But you see how you get those little moments, like that little moment right there. Like I impulsively just wanted to do it, and I think it's that extra little thing that really can bring a piece. So I'm looking at the camera and I'm just seeing some spots that I could add a little bit of interest for some values. I'm so glad you guys are here. Thank you for joining me today, and just this community is awesome. It's just nice to be able to share the love for this medium with all of you. You know what? I'm going to put a little bit of this. You know, maybe I'll just do a little bit right here. I really like this purple. You like the celestial sparkle, Loretta? I love the celestial. Oh, the camera's blurry. Let's see here. How's that? Yeah, I like the little sparkle. I might actually put a couple more in, like one right here. And when you do celestial stuff, like sparkles and stuff, you can just tap them down. And what it does is it pushes it back like a star. And then you can put another bright one. You have to make sure you wipe your finger off, but... And then you can hit it again. Like... And to do different sizes and different patterns. Okay, you guys might not be able to see this, but I'm just going to do it really quick. So that Mono Zero eraser, it's going to help me get rid of this line. You didn't think you were going to get all that action this late in the game here. And see, then now this pencil is going to be on the bottom. It's going to be pretty bright because it's, and that's what I wanted, was just this like, so just going back down to the bottom can really bring up some glow there, right? Like, and if you take like a ivory, I can bring up the center. So it's definitely due to get blown off there a little bit. I think I'm going to put this like, so this is probably stuff I would do like after the cameras were off. It's okay. I like that you guys are hanging out with me while I'm doing this. So I just feel like that gap's just a little big there.
All right. Well, guys, I'm feeling pretty good about this Guardian of Creativity. I'm thrilled with how it turned out. I feel really happy where it's at. It's really fun to kind of play around and do whimsical drawings and just see how they develop. It's definitely an imaginational world that I really like to lean into, and I love creating a story with him or her that, you know, that he's the guardian of the studio. So, yeah. So I might have time to put him up in the shop, but definitely I have where I sell my originals. So I'll try to get him loaded maybe over the weekend. But if you're in my newsletter, you'll get notified. But let me catch up on chat, and then I'm going to probably sign off here. Awesome. Thank you, Francine. I'm glad you like the glowing and that it brings up the clouds. Thank you, Michelle. I'm so glad you're here today. You and Kez, that's awesome you showed up. Looks good. Paula likes it. The evolution. Oh, I just have my son's home, so you're going to hear that a little bit. Loving the colors. All right. Well, I'm little Sunny. Come here, bud. So Sunny is saying it's time. My son's home. So I'm going to sign off, you guys. You have a great weekend. Thank you so much for your support, for being here. And I am excited to see what we'll do next week. I'm thinking about doing another abstract. We'll see what I end up. So definitely appreciate your comments. I try to reply to everything. And just thank you so much. I really appreciate your support. Laura, thank you so much. Inspiring, I want to do him too. Yeah, if you guys do them, I want to see, bring them in the Facebook group. I'd love if you shared that. Love to you, Loretta. I love that. All right, you guys, you take care, and I've missed you too, Michelle, and I will see you guys next Tuesday. All right, have a great weekend. Take care.